How did a centuries-old language become the voice of a new generation? Join us as we explore the captivating evolution of Bahasa Melayu in the media. Welcome and welcome. Today, we are excited to explore the fascinating topic of evolution of Bahasa Melayu in media, from its traditional roots to its dynamic presence in today's digital world. We'll take you through how this language has adapted and influenced modern media across generations. So, our group consists of 6 members, and each of us will be contributing to different analysis of today's topic. The evolution of Bahasa Melayu language is a dynamic, evolving entity that mirrors the cultural, technological, and societal changes of its speakers. Bahasa Melayu, one of the oldest and most influential languages in Southeast Asia, illustrates the ongoing transformation. Over time, it has undergone a significant shift through 3 key stages, which is Old Malay, Classical Malay, and also Modern Bahasa Melayu. Okay, each stage reflects the unique socio-political and cultural influences of its time, with Classical Malay incorporating religious and philosophical elements, while Modern Malay embraces simplification and global influences. So, in the contemporary era, Bahasa Melayu has adapted to the demands of globalization, digital communication, and also multiculturalism. This shift is evident in the language's simplified grammar, the influx of loanwords, and a more informal style of usage in everyday communication. Sorry for that. Traditional features such as poetic expressions and honorifics are increasingly being replaced or altered to suit modern needs. So furthermore, the rise of media and technology has accelerated the language evolution, fostering hybrid forms that mix Malay with English and other languages. So this research aims to explore the transformation of traditional Bahasa Melayu into its modern version, analyzing linguistic, cultural, societal forces behind these changes. By examining how this shift manifests in daily language, literature, and digital platforms, the study seeks to understand how the language balances the preservation of its heritage with its adaptation of contemporary context. The general objective of this study is to find more language evaluation of Bahasa Melayu in media nowadays. The specific objectives are, we have 3, okay? One is to identify the factors driving the transition from traditional to modern Bahasa Melayu. Second, to study the influence of digital media on the usage of Bahasa Melayu. And the third one is to explore the attitudes of Bahasa Melayu. So this research employs a quantitative approach to examine the evolution of Bahasa Melayu in media nowadays. So focusing on the usage toward the language among Malaysian university students, an online survey was conducted using Microsoft Forms, which we gathered responses from 20 participants, 13 females and also 7 males, to assess their understanding and usage of Bahasa Melayu. The survey included multi-choices questions. How does language change occurs? So, media has significantly influenced the evolution of Bahasa Melayu, particularly in today's digital age. On platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, people often use slang, abbreviations, and mix English and Malay, and this is known as Bahasa Rojak. Okay, it's all about speed and creativity. People want to communicate faster and in a way that feels more relatable. For instance, words like papagi replace the longer pagi-pagi, or English terms like best, viral, update are commonly used nowadays. So thanks to social media, these trends can spread very rapidly. Television and radio also embrace this mix of formal and casual Malay, using contemporary expressions to stay engaging. Shows, ads, and influencers often blend English to appeal to younger urban audiences. However, as noted by Hidayah Shafi'i, this blending of languages can also negatively affect the integrity of the national language. The widespread of Bahasa Rojak highlights a growing disregard for the preservation of Bahasa Melayu, leading to concerns about its erosion.
Hi, my name is Nafisa and I will explain my part about how language in Malaysia media has changed over time, especially with the rise of social media, technology, and our multicultural society. The first thing is digital media and social media influence. Let's look at social media. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are huge in Malaysia. On this platform, people often mix languages like using both Malay and English in the same sentence. This is very common, especially among young people. You will also see slang or short forms like OMG or KAN, which make communication more casual and fun. Secondly is language mixing in mainstream media. Next, in TV shows, movies, and advertisement, we also see language mixings. Media creators use a mix of Malay and English to connect with more people, especially the younger generation. For example, advertisement might use both languages, and on TV, characters sometimes switch languages to make things feel more real and relatable. Even new reports sometimes sound more casual to match how people talk in daily life. Next is global media and multicultural society. Finally, global media, especially from English-speaking countries, has made English more common in daily life. Young Malaysians now watch more content in English, which mix with Malay. This happened because Malaysia is a multicultural country where people speak many languages, and this mix of language reflects our diverse culture. In conclusion, language in Malaysia media always changing. With social media, TV shows, and global influence, we see how language mix to better connect with people.
How changes occur in language change? It is by code switching. Code switching is a common practice in Malaysia, appearing in daily life, workplaces, and especially in media. Malaysia's linguistic diversity includes Malay, Mandarin, Tamil, and indigenous language. A unique example is Bahasa Rojak, widely used in urban areas like Kuala Lumpur, which demonstrates how language evolves through code switching. Media platforms like advertisements, TV shows, and social media further highlight this phenomenon. According to a research, Malaysians often switch between Malay and English due to colonial history and the multilingual nature of the country. This is evident in media, where English words such as homework and pressure are commonly used. Beyond vocabulary, structural changes like Malay morphemes such as la, kan, and simplifying consonants cluster are also prominent. These features show how Bahasa Rojak is evolving, especially among younger generations, and how it differs from standard Malay.
Why does language change occur? Language change happen for some cognitive factors. Firstly, easy of articulation. People simplify words to make speech easier. For example, berapa is pronounced as bapa in casual conversation to make the speakers more comfortable in real time. For detail, people usually use berapa ringgit instead of berapa ringgit. Secondly, language economy. Speakers reduce the complexity while maintain the clarity for quick communication, especially in digital context. For instance, the PM is usually used instead of write personal message.
Hello, my name is Nabatisha Wafa binti Muhammad Aziman. I'm going to explain to you why language changes based on social factors. First of all, language changes because of migration and contact with other languages. When speakers of different language interact, they may adopt some of their grammatical structures, dialects. So, for example, when early interactions with Arab traders brought Islamic terms into Bahasa Melayu, such as masjid and doa. The type of language change that happened here is lexical borrowing. Lastly, language changes because of urbanization. So cities often bring together speakers of diverse languages and dialects. So in urban environment, language may adopt to simplified forms to make it easier for non-native speakers. For instance, we leave out formal markers of Bahasa Melayu, such as saya pergi kedai, which is I go shop, instead of saya pergi ke kedai, which is I go to the shop. The type of language change that happened here is grammatical simplification.
The first question reveals that there has been a noticeable increase in the use of slang in Bahasa Melayu in the media over the past few years. Half of the respondents, 10 people, agree that slang usage has risen, while the other half, 10 people, disagree. This indicates that opinions are divided on whether slang in Bahasa Melayu has significantly grown in the media over. Following, Figure 2 illustrates that 85% of respondents frequently encounter new words in Bahasa Melayu during their interactions on social media, while 15% have never come across such words in their lifetime. This clearly shows that discovering new Bahasa Melayu terms has become a common occurrence on social media in everyday life.
Figure 3 shows that 95% of people always notice Bahasa Melayu mixed with English or other languages in the media, while only 5% never see it. This shows that language mixing is very common. So, why does this happen? Language mixing happens because Malaysia is multilingual and people naturally switch languages in daily life. Social media also encourage quick casual communication where mixing languages is common. Media use languages mixing to connect with a larger audience. Advertisement and shows mix languages to appeal to both Malay and English speakers, while global media influences more English use. In conclusion, language mixing in the media reflects how people naturally communicate and is influenced by Malaysia's multicultural society and digital media. Media influence on everyday Bahasa Melayu. Let's look at Figure 4, which shows how media shapes the way we use Bahasa Melayu in everyday conversation. According to the result, 19% of respondents, or 18 people, believe that media plays a big role in influencing how we speak. Only 10%, or 2 people, think media has little impact. This shows just how powerful media is in shaping our communication. Why media has such big influence? Media, especially social media, is constantly shaping our language. What we see online affects how we speak in real life, with people using new slang and even mixing languages as we check. This influence is strong because we spend a lot of time online and it changes the way we communicate daily. In conclusion, the media significantly impacts how we speak Bahasa Melayu in casual conversation. This shows how media can change not just what we say, but also how we say it in everyday life.
Our survey reveals varying perceptions of Bahasa Melayu's evolution. 35% believe it is becoming more modern, influenced by casual and slang-heavy language in media. 40% think it is becoming more informal, with younger people using slang and abbreviations in conversations and social media. However, 25% feel that Bahasa Melayu remains unchanged, highlighting the need to preserve its traditional structure and vocabulary.
Next, we are going to see what students think about whether subtitles or dubbing of foreign media affect how Bahasa Melayu is used and spoken. So based on figure 5, 80% of students think that it does affect how Bahasa Melayu is used and spoken. This is because the exposure of foreign slang in subtitles or dubbing can introduce informal expressions into local use, usually to fit the context. Meanwhile, 20% of students think it doesn't affect how Bahasa Melayu is used or spoken and understood. This is because some students may see movie stars just as source of entertainment and not as source of new knowledge they can learn from. So they tend to overlook the changes that may occur in the subtitles or dubbing. Thus, students are aware of what are affecting their mother tongue language. Next, figure 6 shows that the majority of students think influence of global culture and popularity among younger generations are the cause of new words and phrases in Bahasa Melayu emerging from the media. This is because we now live based on social media and what is trending right now. Meanwhile, only 18% of students think that convenience or ease of use is the cause of new words and phrases in Bahasa Melayu emerging from the media. This shows that language doesn't simply change just because we want it to.
In the charts above, all respondents agreed that media, including social media, televisions, and online platforms, plays a crucial role in spreading new language trends. University students recognize how media influence the evolution of Bahasa Melayu. They see it as a double-edged sword. While it enriches the language by introducing modern elements, it may also diminish its cultural and linguistic heritage.
In analysing the language change reflected in media, we see how Bahasa Melayu is evolving through its interaction with English and other languages. The blending of Bahasa Melayu with English in media are largely driven by factors like English language media such as films, music or advertising, especially social media. This exposure fosters language mixing, particularly in among urban audience who sees bilingualism as a trendy and modern. Social media influences, for example, particularly use mixed language communication to engage with larger audience. However, the language change isn't universally viewed positively. While some see it as a sign of modernization, others express their concern about the erosion of Bahasa Melayu purity. Many worry that frequent mixing Bahasa Melayu with English could dilute the traditional structure and vocabulary of the Bahasa Melayu language. Despite this concern, some view the linguistic evolution as a natural adaptation, allowing Bahasa Melayu to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. Ultimately, the use of mixed language media reflects broader social and cultural shift and the ongoing dynamics of communication and multicultural society.
To conclude our presentation, we find three key findings, which is the first one is language evolution driven by media and technology. Bahasa Melayu is changing because of globalization, social media, and more exposure to English. Young people mix languages, showing creativity and practicality. The second main key finding is the role of media in expanding language use. Media has helped increase the use of slang, abbreviation, and mixed languages in Bahasa Melayu. This makes the languages easier to use, but they can also challenge traditional language rules. And the last key finding is balancing language development with cultural preservation. While media helps society grow, it can also affect cultural values. It's important to balance modern language use with keeping the traditional values of Bahasa Melayu alive. In conclusion, that's all from us. Thank you.